What up, everybody? Welcome back to Let's Talk Podcast with your boy, Dustin Calloway. I'm back here another week with a new episode. Before we get this thing started, please smash that like button. Please smash the subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so that when I do drop a new video, you all will be notified when I drop a new episode. So today's episode is going to be a good one. I don't have a lot of small talk to go, in the beginning. Just a recap of last episode, everything is basically running exactly how I wanted to run. Like I said, I was talking about a lot of stuff that people be dealing with as far as depression and not handling their business the right way, mainly myself. And as I, been going through this, past week, everything has been working out pretty smooth for me. So as far as that world is concerned, everything is lovely. It's pretty lovely. And I have no major complaints at all. So, with that being said, I'm moving into this episode this week with a renewed spirit, and I'm feeling good, man, feeling real good. So yeah, I ain't really got no major complaints this week at all. Had a minor hiccup, as far as, dealing with the family stuff. But again, when you're dealing with stuff like family, man, some things can be a little difficult at times. And, you just kind of got to deal with it as it comes, you just got to deal with it as it comes, and you got to knock down those walls as they, as you approach those walls, man, you got to start knocking them down. But today is going to be a little bit a different kind of episode. And the main reason I want to talk about the stuff that I want to talk about today is because I would be a liar to say that I don't watch other people's podcasts, right? I would be a liar to say that I don't look at World Star. I don't pay attention to some of the messy stuff that I see going on day to day, on different people's podcasts, on different, just entertainment period, because that's literally what this is. It's just damn entertainment. And not to say that it's a type of entertainment where you're going to be hoo laughing all the damn time. No, this is not it. It's not a super goofy podcast. I may get some goofy stuff on here when I do bring people on. But that's just a matter of getting it set up. But I do watch other people's podcasts, and the reason why I watch other podcasts is because I like to, the way that I'm trying to gear up this thing here at Let's Talk Podcast with Dustin Calloway and friends, I'm trying to gear it up to the point where it's going to be a quality show. You know what I'm saying? So the first thing that, I made sure to do was to start, looking at different people's sets and how they got their shit set up. And I'm like, what can I do to this podcast to kind of pop it off a little bit to get the thing, get it running a little bit better. And just making it look better, you know what I'm saying, overall. So as you can see, I did that, right? But on the other side of it too, when I watch other podcasts, I look for the message, and I look to see what they got going on too, just to see if everybody is solid on, on the other podcasts, right? And what I mean by that is, what I get from a lot of these podcasts is I see a lot of fake friendships being built on these podcasts, right? A lot of them. So to be more specific, I watched this one podcast, right? It's called Gilly and Wallow. I believe that's the name of it. No, it's called $1 Million Worth of Game, right? So it was one of those podcasts that I found when I think I was just like kind of scrolling through, Gilly the Kid. I always liked him as a rapper, back when I was younger, like in high school and everything. He was a dope rapper to me. Underrated, for real, way underrated. But I happened to run across the podcast, like a snippet of it on Instagram. So, I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, this might be fire. You know what I'm saying? Because they keep it real on there. They talk real. They keep it real, right? Real. So I check out the podcast, and I'm one of those people that if I see some, fire on the podcast, I don't know about y'all, but I'll go back to the beginning. I don't care how old the podcast is, right? I'll go all the way back to episode 1. I don't care if it was 3 years ago. I'll start there, and then I'll work my way up to the current, the current episodes or whatever. So when you do stuff like that, what you get a chance to see is you get a chance to see the growth of the podcast, right? But on this, particular podcast, I started noticing a little bit of fake shit, that kind of rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. And I'm playing the middle because I don't really know these people for real. But I start seeing how money start messing up friendships. It just start messing up friendships bad as hell. And that's what bothered me about this podcast, right? So to go back to the beginning of the podcast, I start looking at it like, damn, it's a lot of fake stuff that goes on in this world. I know I don't look at it like all these people are friends, right? I don't look at it like that. But I do believe that friendships can be built off of something like this. You get a podcast, you start bringing guests on, and you never know. Like I told you, I run the Let's Talk podcast. This is my baby, so I'm gonna run it by myself, and I'll bring on guests. But who knows? Eventually, I might bring somebody on that I might vibe with, and they might end up being on here a lot. But on their podcast, to get back to them, I started watching it because I like their vibe. I like Wallow's story. I like Gilly's story. But I also like some of the people that they start bringing on. I want to say it's a girl on there. Her name is Don't Call Me White Girl, something like that. She fire. She brings fire to the show. But then they brought another dude on named Dev, and I believe he was like running like the editing and stuff like that, and he was engineering stuff and the sound guy, all that stuff. He that dude. But he also got brought on as a co-host to like talk on the show too, and I was feeling his vibe. He was cool. But one thing led to another with my man Dev, and he ended up not being on the show no more because of money issues and all types of stuff like that, and I get it, like money can ruin friendships and stuff like that. And it ended up being like some fake stuff being said back and forth on both ends or whatever. And it pretty much was the end of Dev being there. And then the white girl, like it was never really anything major that popped out about her, but her being late to the show a few times. So I never came across a story about her though. But I know she ended up not being on the show no more, just like Dev. And, Dev ended up not being on the show. And they all had a good vibe. Gilly, Wallow, Dev, and the white girl, whatever. But you know what? Let me take that back because I don't think she was ever on the show with Dev. But Dev was on there, and then I saw white girl, the episodes that I was watching. Then white girl came on there, and then another dude named Tony came on there, Tony the closer or whatever. But they called him Tony the Tackler. So he ended up being a part of the show after Dev left. And then white girl came on, then it was Tony the Tackler there. Boom. So I started noticing, with them, everything was cool. It was a vibe. It like the show took it to another level, right? So then the next thing you know, Tony the Tackler, the closer, he disappeared from the show. And I just happened to run across this video online the other day of him going crazy, basically just like Dev. When Dev left the show, Dev put out a video and he was just like exposing stuff, just saying this and saying that. Not saying, it was alleged stuff, like, because I don't know if it was real or not, but he was just saying a bunch of stuff about how they was making funny moves, Gilly and Wallow. And I'm like, damn, it's crazy, man. So that's how I took that. But then Tony the closer ended up leaving the show too. And then he come out, put out a video saying stuff similar to what Dev was saying, but he added a little bit more to it, right? So from what I saw in his video, he was talking about how, and this is where we go to that friendship stuff where we talk about fake friends. And I'm not saying that I know that they all tight like this, but to me, from what I saw on the show, it looked like they grew and built a relationship and became friends. So from what Tony was saying and what I saw, Tony would rock Wallow's, merch. He would rock his merch. And all he was looking for in return from what he was saying in his video was, shout me out, man. Show me some love too. If I'm rocking your merch, people see me wearing your merch and I got already thousands of followers, they gonna flock to you because they gonna ask me about your merch and it's gonna send you business, to get bread. And basically he was saying he wasn't getting the same thing in return. And then some other stuff happened where he said that they was putting pressure on him to bring more guests to the show. You know what I'm saying? And he was exposing how basically it makes money for the show if he was bringing people to the show. And I'm like, I get it, because people can pay for spots on your show or whatever. But in closing, basically with that, Tony was looking for a little bit more loyalty from them as far as, if I'm supporting y'all support me too. Because, Tony, one thing I realized, he wasn't no broke dude. He got his own company. He got, he's a millionaire. But when we start talking about that friendship shit, And it sucks that, people have to feel like this sometimes. And it's crazy that when you have friends and you set expectations for your friends, right? The people that you consider or you call your friend, I understand where Tony was coming from, where you have a friend, right? And because we all got friends out there where you thinking in your mind, if I start a company or some shit, or if I got something that I'm pushing on social media and I'm trying to blow it up and build it up, you be expecting like your friends and shit to come through and have your back. But then when they don't, or you'll do something, and it sucks that I have to say this, but sometimes you be wanting, like you'll do something for a friend thinking like, all right, you got a business, I'm gonna blow you up. You just be kind of sitting in the back of your mind like, oh, I know when it's my turn, they gonna do the same thing for me. The crazy part is, bruh, nah, I had to learn that the hard way too. It don't matter if it's family, friends, or whatever. You can't expect somebody just because you doing something for them because you thinking, all right, this is what you supposed to do. Friends, you know what I'm saying? We look out for each other. Just because you do something for them, you thinking they're going to do the same for me. Nah, it don't work like that. So Tony had to learn the hard way, and I'm pretty sure it's more to the story, but he had to learn the hard way and he had to take that L and he just had to cut off, several ties with them. But I feel like, like I said last week, Tony need to pretty much go on that same journey as me, even though he said he did. He said he reached out to people before he went to social media with the shit, right? He said he reached out to them and tried to talk to them about it, but he said people stop answering his calls. So I get that side of it too. And that's why I make this podcast, because sometimes, you try to reach out to people to fix shit, but if they don't respond or call back, or, anything, meet you in the middle, it ain't no way that you can fix it, but you can't let them talk shit about your behind your back and distort your image out here. So I get why people run to social media with stuff like this. But like I said, you can't expect people to return the same efforts as you when you do something for them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's the way that people need to approach it now. And people just not going to be transparent with you. Because even if you take it to like a Joe Budden podcast, and I know I said that I wasn't going to talk about the gossipy stuff out there, but it's a reason why I'm talking about this stuff is because I'm relating it to like kind of a topic, right? To just talk about different scenarios in life and friendships and stuff like that. But like we can even talk about a podcast like Joe Budden, right? So Joe Budden, he got the beef blazing with the people that he had on there, Maul and Rory on his show. And you know what pretty much ended their friendship and their relationship and their podcast with all three of them? Money. That's pretty much what it is. And because you got a couple different levels to it, right? So they all built up this type of friendship, which they thought they had. And I get it, Joe Budden, he got his own network. It's his own company, right? And I think that's what these dudes didn't understand about where he was coming from, right? As far as his business, you say somebody your friend, so you expect your friend. You set these expectations for your friends and shit, thinking that your friend, my friend ain't gonna never do me dirty. And my friend, if I want to talk to my friend about business and we working together, right, my friend gonna look out for me. Nah, that's not what Joe Budden did. Joe Budden literally turned the friendship shit off and he flipped on them and just basically told them, look, y'all signed contracts with me and this is what you're gonna get paid. And this is what you're gonna get paid. And if we got a deal come up, we're gonna give you this and this is what you're gonna get. And that's all you can ask about. But I believe he burned the bridge with his friends there in that world because, in the whole time they helping him, boost his show up through just filming episodes and that chemistry. I think they took that friend shit to the head and said that, what, we friends, man, everything gonna be cool. Nah, it don't be cool. You know what I'm saying? Like, because to go into his situation, like to me personally, just watching Joe Budden all these years, I look at him as a type of person. Here, this is how it lays out for me with him. When you look at people like him, everybody ain't, they can't have money. You can't give money to everybody. You can't, because you'll have a best friend. You'll have a unit of friends and y'all will think everything is cool and everything is tight. And I see this shit every day, with people I know personally, but as soon as you give those people that ain't never had nothing money change a lot of people, man. It changed a whole lot of people. Like, I remember watching Joe Budden's just on the come up, as a youngster, just coming up. And he was just like always just like kind of cool, laid back, humble guy. Like he used to be one of my favorite rappers back in the days. But then I started noticing the more fame he got and the more money he started to get and the more aware he became of how good he can hustle, I feel like it kind of turned him into an asshole. But that's the same thing that I see with a lot of people that I grew up with. It's the same thing. You got to be able to see through those type of people, man. And you can see it off the rip, like you got to get to a point where if you're trying to build something with somebody that you consider your friend, you got to be able to accept the fact that that person might end up turning into an asshole depending on, or just an arrogant prick, the more money y'all start making together. But the key is when y'all start getting bread together, try to become a person. Try not to become that person. Try not to become that person that turns into a complete asshole because you're getting a little bit of bread or you got a little company that you done started. Because at the end of the day, that shit don't mean nothing. You pass away, you can't take that with you. Yeah, I could leave it to my family and to my kids. That shit still don't mean nothing. Don't burn down bridges with your friends over money and contracts, man. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't do that. And don't get me wrong. Like in Joe Budden's situation, I do feel like, it was some, I understand his reaction to being asked about the books and the paperwork and stuff and stuff like that. Like I get it, because you like I got my own company. And if somebody if I decided to hire somebody right now to help me out, like as far as I'm just going to give you a task to go out there and hustle and try to bring me more customers, right? That's all I'm hiring you to do. And I'm going to pay you this amount of money for each customer you bring in, right? Sign this paperwork. That's your deal. But if I start getting, let's just say if I get some endorsement deals on something on the side over here for doing this and doing that, your contract with me and you, it's the same. It doesn't change just because I brought some more money in over here. Now, if I want to cut you in on that deal, even though I know it's not in your contract, I'll do that out of the kindness of my heart. But I don't owe you anything else. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where it got twisted up with them, and that's just people, period. Like some people put that friendship shit, they think they can put it in front of business all the time. And you really can't, man. You got to be able to separate those worlds, man. Like just because we doing this business, stuff together, always remember if you sign a contract, the contract it overpowers friendship, man. So don't get those worlds mixed up. Now, if you're going to go into a partnership with somebody and y'all going to do split deals on 100% of everything, y'all splitting it, that's a different story, But no, if you going in the door, sign the paperwork and you saying that this is all I agree to do and this is all I agree to be paid, that's what you get. So don't question the books. And I think that's where it went bad for his boys. You know what I'm saying? To not make him look like a complete asshole. But again, that friendship shit in business, man, is real tough. It's real tough. So like even with me, like, to give you some brief, stuff on my history with people that I consider, I won't even say like one of them, I consider him, he was just somebody I knew. I know from just being around the neighborhood for a while. And then the other one, I do consider him a friend and like a friend of the family. But when I started my company, I had friends that that wanted to build it with me. But when I started putting it together and I started doing all the work and start recording and start paying for stuff and, paying for the website and recording videos, editing and all that stuff, when all that stuff came together, I looked back and I noticed that I'm doing this by myself. Ain't nobody doing it with me. Ain't nobody editing. Ain't nobody recording. Ain't nobody putting together the videos, the website, none of that stuff. So then I said to myself, like, instead of, why am I going to go into business with these dudes as partners and get them a third of everything that I bring through the door if I'm doing it all on my own anyway? So that's why I ended that business relationship with them. I just ended it because I already knew eventually we would end up in the Joe Budden. We would end up in the Gillian Wallow situation. We would have ended up there because I would have felt some kind of way and I would have looked at them and said, you know what? I built this whole thing from scratch. So I'm going to need y'all to start bringing in some kind of additional money somehow. And then I wouldn't have wanted to split a third with them and it would have killed our friendship. So did it end on bad terms? Yeah, it did. And we're going to piece that up pretty soon. But I think it was the best decision at that time. You know what I'm saying? So as far as this whole business with friends thing go, I learned the hard way. I'm cool. I'm cool. I'm cool. Like, so if you out there right now and you think that you want to do something with your friends, man, and you trying to put something together, be careful, man. Be careful, because you can end up in one of them situations with a fake friend, or a friend that you gonna break your neck to support, but they ain't never gonna support you. Be careful. Be careful where you put yourself in those situations, because they can end up bad, and you can end up with a broken heart for real. It ain't just a boyfriend, girlfriend type of deal that can break your heart. It could just be friendships, man, that get broken up over business, man. So you got to be careful when it comes down to that stuff, man. You definitely got to be careful. So let's go ahead and switch it up just a little bit, right? I'm going to switch it up a little bit because I got a few things that I want to cover today. So I know y'all been paying attention to the news. I know y'all been paying attention to what's going on in this world. I got to bring up Sha'Carri Richardson. I got to bring her up, man, because this stuff that I try to not talk about, it actually overlaps with what I do want to talk about. Like, I can always put a face to the topic, right? So I'm thinking to myself, like, why not just put somebody that everybody knows the situation, that's going on with that person right now? Why not put a face, to the topic? All right. So I was going to cover this without saying her name, but nah, might as well just put it out there, right? Sha'Carri Richardson, everybody knows what's going on with her, right? So she is she's a athlete, a track star, a track professional. She'll run the brakes off anybody I know. I'm talking about dudes right now. She'll run them down. Cheetah speed. I'm talking about she can be a little running back. You give her a football and you get her in the open, I don't think somebody gonna catch her, man. But everybody knows what she did, right? So she tested positive for marijuana, and she basically got kicked out the Olympics, man. They like, nah, can't come over here. Basically, you smoking weed, you already know what's in the rule book. You can't smoke weed, man. You can't smoke weed. You can't do no illegal drugs. And if you do, you got to go. They put her out, right? Question, who's at fault? Do y'all think she should have lost her spot in the Olympics? Was it irresponsible of her to smoke weed? Knowing they drug test athletes prior to competing, and I already know this is what everybody going to say. Everybody look for an excuse, right? Just looking for a reason to say we need to bail her out of this and we need to give her a pass for this and a pass for that. Her mom passed away. Rest in peace, moms. But I'm not trying to be insensitive at all to what she's going through, because it ain't a lot of people out here. Well, it is a lot of people, but it ain't many people that I know that lost a parent and they don't know how it feels to go through that. But at the end of the day, was she smoking weed before her mom passed away? Or did she just start smoking weed? She decided to start smoking weed that day. Like, my mom passed away, I'm about to start smoking weed now going forward. Come on, man. Like, let's just be real, man. Take a look at her. I'm not saying judge her by the way her hair looked, the way her nails look. I'm just saying, man, come on, man. Did she just really start smoking weed just now? I don't think she did, man. I think she always probably hit the weed. And I'm not trying to say that, oh, you shouldn't smoke weed because it's nasty and nah, I don't care. I don't care if she smoked weed, but at the same time, you got to be a little bit more responsible, man. Like, you got to know this. And I'll even take it to the workforce. I get it, man. A lot of people smoke weed. A lot of people vape. A lot of people do edibles. Like, that's what y'all do. If you want to do that. That's fine. But be prepared for that job that tells you can't smoke weed to hit you with a random drug test. Be prepared for it. You know what I'm saying? Just be prepared for it. Because when it comes, it's going to come. Like, I know somebody that I used to work with, but I ain't going to say the name. I ain't even going to get a gender. But we went through this thing at work where we had picked up a new client, and it was a bank that basically said that, nah, they wasn't even a new client. I'm sorry. They were already there, but they changed up their rules and their guidelines and regulations. And as part of their regulations, they say anybody that got access to our accounts, they got to get a drug test right now. I don't care if you've been there for 1 year, 30 years. You got to get a drug test right now and pass a background check in order to touch our accounts. All right, cool. So everybody that was on that team had to go get a drug test, right? And it was a random drug test. And guess what? People were failing. They were failing the drug test because, they figure like, I done already been here at this job for all these years. I made it through the door. I'm good, baby. I've been at this job for 4, 5, 6 years. They ain't going to come back and drug test me. They would have did that in the beginning. Nope. Drug tested. And let's just say the homie failed the test. Told me, I'm like, damn, are you fired? What's about to happen? Somehow, some way, they were able to keep the job, but they were not able to work for that client. So that looks a little weird, right? But you already know where that could have went though, right? So say, for instance, if they wanted to take it up a notch, like, you know what? Yeah, let's go ahead and take this to HR. Could have got fired over it. You know what I'm saying? Because you failed a drug test at a job that said that, look, we're not going to hire you if you smoking illegal drugs, what they consider illegal drugs. Even though a lot of people say, oh, it's just weed, it ain't going to mess with you all like that. That's cool. For you to feel that kind of way, that's cool. But the rules are the rules, man. The rules are the rules. And I know a lot of black people that I see on social media every day. It's like, look, they made it a race thing. And I'm like, I get it. I get everything that you're talking about. And I'm not trying to say that didn't have anything to do with it. But did they just put that rule in the book like that day when they saw that she was about to go to the Olympics? Did they put the rule in there that day that said, oh, we see this black girl coming over here, she gonna smoke everybody. Even though it's other black people in there that's fast too, it's probably gonna be a black person that's gonna win it. I ain't even gonna lie to you, because there was a lot of them out there, But did they just put that rule in that day? They didn't just put the rule in the book that day, man. Like the day that she was coming over, they like, hold on, let's redo the Olympic rule book to let them know, because we know it's gonna get this person out of that person. Nah, it ain't just a black people to smoke weed thing. Everybody smoke weed. I'm pretty sure every race smoke weed or eat it some kind of way. But that's what they do. So it's not a new thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't just put it in the rule book just now. Michael Phelps, he lost everything. He lost everything. And I actually don't even think, I think that he lost everything over a photo. I might have to do some more research on it, but everybody, like, we quick to make everything a black white thing, and I get it, man. I get it. Like, the people over there in that country, they treat us like crap. I know. So it's easy to look at it that way, but nah. I mean, if you going into the Olympics and you know that they drug test you, they're gonna drug test you. So you already know. And like, I believe from what I saw in the video, she took full responsibility for it. She took it. She ate it. She was like, she held herself accountable. And I'm like, okay, now can everybody chill with this black thing? This black and white thing. Just stop. Just chill out with that, man. Like, the girl knew what she was doing. She was wrong. She was wrong, man. Like, I get it. Your mom passed away. Hey, go have a drink. You don't drink? Okay, well, look, go talk to somebody. But don't sacrifice your dreams just because you want to go get high, man. Just because you think, because I said this before. This goes for people, even if you're an alcoholic, if you're on drugs, any kind of drugs, it ain't going to make the problems go away. Man, the same thing goes for people that are prescribed medicine, like meds from the doctor to help them deal with all this different stuff. Nah, man, it ain't going to make the pain go away. Yeah, temporarily, because you high. But guess what? You got to start dealing with your problems, man. You got to go seek counseling. If you're not strong enough to just deal with it and talk to some family and just heal through that, or just get through it, go see somebody professionally, man, that's going to help you talk you through it. And they're going to give you different types of, things that can help you cope with it day to day. You know what I'm saying? To make you stronger, build you up stronger up here so that you can move forward from it, man. But in my opinion, old girl was wrong, man. She was wrong. I'm not going to make it a black white thing. I'm not doing that. But she was wrong, man. You in the Olympics. You pretty much one of the top athletes in the entire world. Nah, you got a higher responsibility. Just look at yourself like a superhero, man. Not saying that you like a superhero, but it's kind of the same thing, Great responsibility, man. Great responsibility, because you up there. You representing a whole entire country. You know what I'm saying? And you lose it all over weed? Nah, man, you got to make better decisions when you're going through some stuff in your life that's hurting you. You know what I'm saying? So, all right. I mean, what she got? I don't know if she's gonna be able to get back in because I was hearing a couple things that she was gonna be able to get back in like a month or something like that. But then I saw something the other day that said she ain't gonna be able to compete at all. So, see you in 4 years, man. Keep training. Moving along though. Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby's free. My man Jello Pudding is free. Bill Cosby is free, man. Should he be free? Guilty until proven innocent. Should his previous testimony that was not supposed to be on record be held against him outside of the law? How do y'all feel about that, man? Bill Cosby being free. I know I made a joke about it on my social media. I was like, man, look, can we go back to watching the show? I'm gonna just keep it real. I never stopped. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I never stopped because even with R. Kelly, I never stopped. I mean, I just didn't stop because I'm just like, man, look, I'm gonna separate you, whatever you allegedly did, from the TV show. That's how I did it. I'm sorry. Like, I just had to, man. I couldn't just throw the show away. I could not just throw the show away. So I don't know though, man. How do y'all feel about that? Should Bill Cosby be free? This is how I'm looking at it. I hear it a few different ways, right? I hear it a few different ways from a few different people. So some people, I'm not going to say male or female. I'm just saying people, period, that I hear that, no, they shouldn't have let him free. He a pervert. He did this and he did that. And he messed up and he did this to people. And he raped women. And I'm sorry. I said the R word. I'm sorry, YouTube. But, they say all the stuff that he did. Right. So I guess in my mind, I'm thinking about it like this. And this is not to say that I don't care about what he did allegedly to those people, to those women. Back in those times, everything that I keep hearing from like the older cats from back then, they say that what he did was like a regular thing for everybody. And like, that's what everybody was doing back in the days. And those women were well aware of what was going on. Like, that's what I keep on hearing. Like, I even heard a story, like when I was listening to Foxhole Radio. I know y'all hip to that, man. That was like the best ever. Like, to me, it was a podcast. It was on Sirius XM back in the days, but it's Fox. It was called Foxhole Radio or whatever. But John Witherspoon, right? He was on there one day, and if any of y'all remember that episode, he was on there talking about the things that they used to do back in the days, right? As far as like drugs and all that kind of stuff. And he was just like openly having a conversation about like all the people like Red Fox, all of them, like Richard Pryor. He was just talking about how much, coke that they used to do back then. And he just said that they would just walk around with like a coke, something around their neck. And they would just have a coke around their neck. Like it was just a necklace. They'd hit it off and then, tape it on the arm and just hit it right there on the spot. Everybody was doing Robin Williams. He was saying all the names of all the people that was just doing drugs. And it was just a thing that they did. Like weed now, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what people was just doing. That's just, everybody was doing it. And even with the drug that Bill Cosby allegedly, put in those women drinks, it was like a regular thing. That's what they did back in the days, to enjoy whatever they were doing. So it's like, on one hand, I'm like, I hear that story coming from the other side of the older people. But on the flip side of it, me personally thinking to myself, I would never, ever put a drug in somebody's drink to get them more relaxed and more comfortable with wanting to be with me. Or if they passed out, I'm gonna have sex with you while you knocked out. Like, nah, man. Like, can I say that happened to me before in my life? Yeah, it happened to me before in my life. Like, I've never done drugs in my life. I don't smoke. I'm not a drinker, never drank in my life. But I've dealt with people that have been like smokers and drinkers. And the one thing that I know I've never been into, because I'm always aware, right? I'm always fully aware. When somebody, like a chick that I would be messing with back in the days, like if she like drunk and just like this, I'm cool. I ain't doing that. Even if she kept trying, like, I'm cool, man. Nah, like, you drunk, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want nothing to be thrown off or you to be feeling like, oh, he took advantage of me because I was drunk. Like, nah, you know what I'm saying? So that's where I start looking at my man Bill like, bruh, you a sleazeball, bruh. You a sleazeball for that, because it's like, dude, he a hard sell on the looks. I'm just saying, he a hard sell. So I can get why, people like him, let's just keep it real. People like him, dude, take away the bread. Take away the money, bruh. You're not bagging chicks, bro. I'm just saying, you're not bagging chicks. You take away the TV show, take away the fame and the money, bro. You're not bagging chicks. And this is not for me to be clowning Bill. But come on, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about, dude. You look around in the neighborhood at the dudes that got the bread, the drug dealers, or the dude who got the little bar, or got the gas station. Oh, funny looking, hard sales. You know they not bagging the chicks that's on their arm when they ain't got nothing. You ain't bagging her and you work at Arby's, bro. You're not bagging her and you work at Swage Lock. You're not, bro. It's the money and the attention and all the stuff that you have that's getting her for you. So Bill, I get why he did what he did, because probably the women that he was getting, for real, they probably wouldn't even mess with him on the for real if they were sober. But that still don't give you a pass to do that to them. Like, it's not okay, bro. It's not okay. So Bill Cosby being free, to me, I feel like if that deal didn't go bad and, like they didn't mess this case up and he went to jail, I still wouldn't be sad for him, But then here we go again on the flip side. I keep hearing these stories about other people, coming from other people that say, why would these women wait around? Why would these women wait around? Why would they wait all this time right up until now to say something? Let me tell y'all something, bro. A lot of y'all. I don't know if any of y'all have ever been in a position where something so bad happened to you that you was afraid to say anything. Afraid. Did y'all ever consider the fact that maybe that was one of the issues? That's possible. I'm not saying that that's what I'm saying that I believe, but I'm saying like that could be a possibility. Some women or get put in a position where somebody will do something to them, but they be so afraid because, again, remember, this dude was powerful back then. So if they afraid of what can happen to them if they come up and say something, they probably wouldn't say nothing. So that could be a possibility. But on the flip side of it, you got to look at the other stuff, the other moves that Bill was making. Bill was making other moves. So they say he was trying to buy, I want to say NBC, something like that. I want to say NBC. He was trying to buy that. He was trying to buy some television network. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry. Correct me in the comments. So they say that that's why all of this came to be, because of that. So I'm just thinking to myself like, man, on the flip side, maybe that's why they was trying to take him down, because they like, we ain't about to let your black ass buy this whole network. Nah. Why? So you can black it up? So you can start putting all this black stuff out there and you can start waking these black people up? Nah, we're not going to help you. We're not going to help you help them. You know what I'm saying? So that could be another possibility, which runs me into what I'm saying next, which is going to tie all this together for me up in my mind. Take a look around everything that you see going on, right? And this would make sense to me for Bill Cosby to go get a network, right? A station where he could put on black stuff that's going to uplift our people. Meg Thee Stallion, Nicki Minaj, Cardi B should not be looked up to on any level. They are literally destroying the world and a lot of our people, man. And this ain't even no joke. Like, I'm not even going to sit up here and pretend like I like them at all. I don't. Do I hate them? I know I don't hate them as women, because at the end of the day, they doing whatever they got to do to get a dollar. Do I agree with doing whatever you got to do to get a dollar? No, I don't. I would never, ever sell my soul or do anything crazy to my people just to get a dollar. I wouldn't. Now, this ain't no black white thing where I'm saying, oh, whiteys, the whiteys is doing this. That ain't it. This ain't it. But I'm looking more at our people. And don't get me wrong. Yeah, the powers that be that control this, what's getting put out there. Oh, don't get me wrong. I'm well aware of what they got going on behind the scenes. I'm well aware of what they do, but it goes back to our people, right? Meg Thee Stallion. It seemed like every video that I see on TikTok now, it's just all just women just on there, barely got any damn clothes on. And all they doing is twerking. That's all they doing is twerking. Same thing goes for Cardi B. Like Nicki Minaj, I really don't hear her music or like that no more, but unless it's an old school song that they playing of hers where she talking about the same shit that they talking about. Just destructive shit. They just talking about stuff that is setting women back, to me, for real. It's setting them back. So if you look at a Bill Cosby situation where he trying to go buy a network, because I know what you're going to do with that network, right? You're going to really put our voices out there the way that they need to be put out there, versus what's going on now. Look around. You got Meg Thee Stallion, you got Cardi B, you got Nicki Minaj, and all these other girls. What's the other girl named Benzino daughter? I don't even know her name, but I hear all the stuff that they talking about in their songs, and this is what the media is pumping to us. They pumping it to your kids and everything. And then you get these people on the flip side that always say, well, when we was growing up, this was on that. But guess what? It wasn't being played in our house. It wasn't being played in our house, in the house that we lived in. Nowadays, you got these mamas, these mamas that's my age, and this is what they listen to in front of their kids. Growing up, man, I'm talking about in the house, distant. Man, if I don't hit a better note than that, distant lover. This is the stuff that we grew up to, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, but the stuff that these kids is growing up to now, and then if you listen to the radio, it's like it's just on repeat. They play the same songs all day. It's just programming, man. It's all programming. It's all programming. But this is what they feed into the kids nowadays. And then you get these people, because I always got to talk about everything that I'm going to hear on the flip side. Well, it's the parents' fault. They got to stop them from doing it. I'm like, look, man, they being fed. It's being fed through everything. Everything, man. So it's like, okay, on one side, what do you want the parents to do? You want them to just cut the cable off in the house and just shut everything down? No, they can't do that. They can't do that. Yeah, and if they do, they're going to turn their kids into damn zombies. That ain't going to know how to do nothing. So on the flip side of things, you got to look at it like, okay, what can we do? What we can do is we can push women like Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, and all these rapper women. And hold on, don't forget, I'm not going to leave out men either, not the rapper dudes. But we got to push them to do better, man. Like, I get it. You want $1. I get it. You want the fame. But what is it? What's the cost? What does it come with? Like, what does it come with? You sit up here rapping about twerking, just getting money, selling your coochie. That's all y'all rap about now. That's all y'all do in the videos. Y'all ain't got no damn clothes on, just showing your ass. And it seemed like every woman is like a zombie. They just fall right into that shit. They get bit by the damn song, and then it's like, oh my God, something just opens up inside of them. Talking about, well, we just being free. You being free? Come on, man. Stop trying to normalize bullshit. And then the same women on the flip side will sit up here and turn around and say that men ain't shit, men ain't this, and men ain't that. And you try to dog men out. No, men ain't doing nothing but playing into the shit that you giving them. Yeah, it's a lot of dirtbags out here. And it'll be a lot of dirtbags disguised as good men. But if you just giving them what they want, it's going to stay the way that it's going to be. And it's only getting worse because of what y'all doing. So we got to do better, man. So on the Bill Cosby note, this is not me saying that he ain't do nothing. Allegedly, he did to me. Something had to happen allegedly to me. I'm thinking that like he ain't just free from not all those cases, bruh. But again, like I said, on the flip side of things, with him trying to buy NBC, it's just a little crazy to me how things look a little, this case look a little funny to me. Just to look a little bit funny. So, because just think about it. If he would have got that network and how many different shows he would have probably put out, that could have helped lift our people up out of this darkness that we in right now, because we in darkness right now. And I don't know if you just ignoring it, but we in a dark spot right now with the way things are going. Like, even if you listen to the young dudes that's on the radio now, everything you hear from these young dudes on the radio, they talking about getting ass, money, popping bottles, driving in a car, hitting the club, shooting and killing each other. That's all they talk about. Ain't nothing. They ain't uplifting nothing right now. It's like, damn, if you really think about the way the hood is set up now, it's like you would think that they just woke up every day with violence on their mind, man. And then it don't help at all, because, man, look, I know a lot of weak-minded people, man. When I was growing up, I used to watch music control certain people that I know in my life. They would literally quote somebody that they heard. They used to quote lyrics to me in a song that they heard, like, man, such and such said you got to do this and you got to do that. And I'm just like, what? Oh, you really? So you gonna do what that month? Wow. Like, and they were serious. Like, they used to quote lines to me like, man, well, what's the name said this and you got to start doing that. I'm like, yeah, you was a goofy. If you sitting up here like music never controlled me like that. You know what I'm saying? But I see that it's being used. It's a tool. It's really a weapon for real, because it's a weapon for the weak-minded people, because some people literally will take everything that these rappers be saying as truth, and then they start molding their lives to it. So if you look around at a lot of these little young kids and everybody that's coming up trying to be rappers now, listen to how all of them rap. They like zombies. They all rap exactly the same and they all say the same things. And it's only because they hear what somebody else is saying. They repeating the same bullshit. And that's what's destroying the world. Look at the young girls. The young girls now, all the young girl rappers that's coming up. They not rapping about nothing. They all rapping about the same thing that they hear Meg Thee Stallion rapping about, Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. They all rap about the same shit. Like, this is me. I'm begging y'all. Please go, all the songs that y'all like, go look up the lyrics online. Or go to YouTube and search for the song and acapella. And listen to the words. Just listen to the words. They ain't saying shit. It's zombie music. For real, for real. What you like the most, you might like the hook and the beat. For real. That's probably what you like. But it ain't helping move us forward at all, man. But what Bill Cosby had going on, I believe, if he would have got that network, I think it would have changed up a whole lot of things. And I'm pretty sure that this video, YouTube is going to probably try to hide this video from people, because I noticed that when you make stuff that's uplifting and you trying to turn the page, right? You're trying to turn the page on the way people brains think. Those videos don't get put out there. They don't push those forward. So if you see this video, man, if you come across this video, please smash the like button. Please subscribe to my channel, all that good stuff, and turn on the bell notification so that, you know, when I do drop a video, you'll be notified. Because these type of videos, when you try to empower people, they don't get air. They don't air them. And I'm thinking that they do it on social media too, because I'll post a quote and people will see that and they'll put up, you know, not even a quote. It'll be just something that I'm thinking, and I'll post it. I'll type it up and post it up. Likes, comments. But then when I put a video out there with something like this and it's a message in the video, it seems like no one sees the video. It's a little strange, ain't it? You know? So it's like it's like they want to see the world go to shit. It's like they want to, you know? And it's like, man, the only thing you can do is keep on trying to push it forward, man, you know, to get away from all this bullshit. Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, the baby, you name it. Like, I don't even know the rest of these dudes. Some of them goofy little young boys that's out there talking about nothing. They not helping the world. They not. They helping keep up the agenda, whatever that agenda is, to keep people dumb, to keep people killing each other, to keep people blinded, or to keep people from progressing and moving forward. That's what they helping out with. They keeping everybody down. But you got to be able to open up your mind, man, and start seeing through that bullshit. Ain't none of these people leaders, man. Save your kids now. Save your kids. I'm telling you, because I'm trying my hardest, man, but I see it rubbing off on my own kids. And it's like, you know, it sucks that they don't permanently live here. But I try to feed them everything that I can. I try to feed it to them so that they can see, look, don't start mimicking that shit that you see out there, because for real, when you grown and you start looking back at your life, if you mess your life up, you're going to start looking back like, damn, what was I thinking? You know what I'm saying? So before your kid go down that path, and man, and they get to that point, man, start trying to reel them back in, man. Start trying to reel them back in and start talking to them and showing them positivity, man. Because for real, if you look around, everything is just negative. Everything is just filled with goddamn negativity right now. That's all you see now. Everything. Think about it, man. Scroll through your timelines on your social media platforms if you got them. It's just a bunch of negativity. It ain't nothing that's going to wake people up. And if you do see something that's going to wake people up, those people are being censored. Look at the social media. Look at TikTok. Look at Instagram. Look at Facebook. They censor people. They got these things in place now, these algorithms that catch all the positivity because they want to see this shit crash and burn. But We got to keep on doing stuff like this on these, like with our podcast, and keep waking people up. We got to get away from doing shit to tear each other down. Gilly wallow. Fix those relationships with your boys, man. Or at least had a conversation, even if they don't come on your show no more. Try to fix that, man. Joe Budden with your boys, man. Have a conversation and piece it up on the friendship side of the game. And because we got to show people better. I'm not even gonna say just kids. We got to show people better, man. Because if everything that people see is just destroyed relationships, we're not gonna move forward. Everybody gonna just keep on trying to, sell whatever they got on beef. And we gotta stop doing that shit, man. Sometimes, we gotta reel people in to just get them to listen to the message, and we gotta show people productive people and productive partnerships, man, with people and friendships. We got to start showing people that shit, man, so that they can see, even if we have a disagreement, we can come back together and build some shit and keep on moving forward, instead of saying, hey, I'm getting off your show, I'm going this way, you go that way, and we just gonna beef with each other just to keep the ratings up, man. Scratch all that shit, man. Scratch that shit. That shit is done, man. We got to show people better, man. We got to show people better, man. But that's going to be a wrap for this episode of Let's Talk Podcast, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in with me. I'm going to keep this thing going, and I like the way this show flowed today. Because, like I said, I usually will have a topic, and I would have made everything that I talked about today could have been different topics as far as just a whole show without saying names. But I like to tie, I want to get into this thing now where I'm starting to tie faces to the stories or faces to the topics, man, so that people can start, getting a better understanding, or you can go back and start looking it up on your own. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, let me go see how I feel about the Gilly Wallow story, about the Joe Budden podcast, about Sha'Carri Richardson, or about, Meg Thee Stallion and all that, Bill Cosby, I just want you to go look it up for yourself, man, so that you can see where everything comes from. It's not always going to be about something about my life or me being miserable about something or something that hurt me. It ain't always be about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got a bunch of stories and stuff that I want to talk about, but this ain't what it is today. So, like I said, smash that like button, turn on the bell notification, subscribe. And that like button, please smash it, so I can get in that algorithm and I can fall in there and they can start showing my videos to people. But all of my social media stuff is down below in the description of the video. So go to all my social media platforms. Please follow me on everything that I got listed down there. And if you're interested in learning about stocks, Forex, cryptocurrency, I got my own company. It's called traderslearningscircle.com. Traderslearningscircle.com. Shoot over there, man. Check out the couple videos that I got on my page. And then if you want to sign up, it's a $50 one-time fee. Get you signed up, man. And I can teach you everything that I know about trading. So until the next time, my people, I appreciate y'all tapping in and loving this video today, man. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one. Peace.